Hey everyone, what is going on? This is Kiodiekin and welcome back to the channel. So as you guys know, I love my CronusZen. This is the best gaming adaptive controller here on the market. And so as you guys know, I do a lot of maintenance from time to time, with all the updates between Call of Duty, other gaming platforms that are out there, and then of course updating your CronusZen. Sometimes it can almost feel like a full-time job just trying to get set up in gaming when you turn on your Xbox or your PlayStation and so forth. And so I want to keep this tutorial streamlined for all of you just kind of getting into the CronusZen and just maintaining it. And so I want to go over a few well-needed features that you need to be familiar with in order to make sure that you have a very pleasant experience. So the first thing I want to definitely show you is you always want to make sure that you update to the latest version and also have the latest firmware version. I have a video on how to update to the latest firmware version on your CronusZen. You need to have your CM bootloader already loaded. Then of course you want to hold in the small little button here on the bottom in order to update to the latest firmware. But beside that, I really want to pay more close attention to the Zen Studio. We're going to take a look at beta 119, and I do believe it was the last beta. I think it was called 115 that added in this additional support. I know it was released either back in May or June of this year. So if we go up here to the top tab, we have File, Edit, Compiler, Tools, Plugins, and Help. But what we want to focus on is the option here for Tools. And you want to go ahead and now you want to do this every time you reinstall or install a brand new version of the Zen Studio. As you guys know, this program doesn't have an official uninstaller. It installs on the computer. And I can tell you, just a few minutes ago, I had several issues. Don't know where it came from. I'll also have, because I have multiple computers, didn't have any issues with this. But one of the issues I just recently had was this thing was freezing, and I was moving it because I have multiple screens on my computer. I was moving it from one side of the computer to the other, and so it would freeze. And so in order to kind of prevent issues from happening, if you've already had previous versions of CronusZen or the Zen Studio on your computer, you want to make sure you hit Reset Zen Studio. And what this will allow you to do is it will reinsert or reinstall the application, but it will remove any previous versions or any additional files that have already been existing based upon your download history. So if you've already had game packs and other things, different programs or different versions of Zen on the Zen Studio on your PC, this will remove all of it. And then of course we have another option here, Restart Zen Studio. This will restart the program for you once you've already updated and did a few other things as well. So but this tool is really handy. I just did this a few moments ago. I recorded some other videos here today, had some issues, but this fixed all the issues going forward. Again, keep in mind this is still a beta, still not finalized. They are still working on some things, but all in all, this is a great program, and these are some of the tools that will also help keep you maintaining your CronusZen while you guys enjoy your gameplay. Now, another thing that I definitely want to point out to you is I've hooked up several different controllers over the past few months. I will upload that video, but I spent a lot of time hooking up the Logitech adaptive controller. And one of the things that you'll also run across is this menu right here. Sometimes you'll need to hit the refresh button. And so if you're playing around with certain controllers, I think it was the PS5 controller I had on here, I connected it, then unsynced it from the CronusZen and so forth. So you want to go ahead and hit clear Bluetooth devices, or you may also want to hit reset device. So I did have some issues where I hooked up, I think it was the PlayStation 5 controller or the Logitech adaptive controller. I can't remember which one it was, but for whatever reason, they wouldn't show up on the device monitor. In fact, I was pressing all the buttons, doing everything that I would typically do to troubleshoot, and so it wouldn't appear over here. And so in order to fix that, and I do believe it was a PlayStation 5 controller, you want to go ahead and hit this option here, which is clear registered Bluetooth devices. I went ahead and did that. It went ahead and did this thing. And then of course I went ahead back to the device monitor, redid the sync, and then everything worked all over again. As you can see, it just erased my Xbox Elite controller. We'll go ahead and sync this back up here. But all in all, those are just some basic maintenance features that you definitely want to make sure that you keep in your practice before gameplay, because I know how frustrating it could be when you think, you know, you follow the tutorials, you've done everything right. So let's go ahead and sync this controller back up for the heck of it. There it is. Those are just some of the basic maintenance procedures, and it will save you a lot of time, especially if you're someone like me that loves testing different devices. And then also too, I did hook up another device. It's not really privy to the CronusZen. I have some light guns. It's called the Send-In light gun, if you guys are familiar with that. I hooked it up because sometimes, you know, the CronusZen team and these gaming adaptive controllers, they'll update and add additional USB devices. And so as you guys can see, I've been using this since 2020, and it never registered this particular light gun, and so it finally did. Now I'm not able to get full functionality on that because that's not the way it was designed, but I just love to see if it does respond and if it did recognize it. So it was able to recognize my Send-In light gun on this with the CronusZen, but when I did that and when I went back in to set up additional controllers like my Xbox Elite or my PlayStation 5, it wouldn't register at all until I hit reset device. That allowed me to then hook up my normal USB devices that I have and continue my normal gameplay. So again, I definitely want to stress the use of these, especially if you are bouncing back and forth between multiple controllers. These three settings here: reset device, clear Bluetooth devices, and also reset Zen Studio, will save you a lot of time and effort. Instead of having to spend your time on Discord and asking questions in some of the groups, this will be beneficial to you. So with that being said, you guys all have a great day. I will catch you later. This is KDK. Make sure you turn on the notification bell. I will have some other tutorials coming for you. Like and subscribe. Bye-bye.